Greetings, everybody. I'm back with another video, and today I'm going to be talking about the topic of polygamy. Polygamy kind of came up in one of my previous topics, but I didn't really touch on it very long. But now I just wanted to kind of hone in on it and elaborate. I've already been touching on marriage and things like that and how you're supposed to view your man and your husband. And now I wanted to hone in on the nature of man and the nature of men and how they desire and how they are wired for multiple partners. And the thing with men, they need multiple partners to build a legacy. So if you are a man and you have one or two children with one woman, that's not really building a legacy. That's more so just having just your family, and your bloodline is not going to stretch very far or go very far into the future because you only have two children. So to maximize your ability to create a legacy, you need to have a lot of children, and you need to have a lot of children by multiple women, because one woman, she's going to destroy her body having 10, 15 children. So out of respect for that one woman, you would add on another woman and another woman and another woman, so that, let's just say, you have 4 wives, they all have 3 children. 4 times 3 is 12. There goes 12 children. There goes a legacy that's going to go on for on and on and on. You just built a tribe, like the foundation of a tribe, the foundation of a nation of people to follow in your lineage. You cannot create nations and legacies with one wife. It's not plausible. And men are meant to create nations and legacies. That's what they've always done historically. That's what they should continue to do. But in the US, polygamy was a thing that happened back in 17, 1800s, but it was outlawed. So when they outlawed it, it kind of cut it down, and they did it as a form of population control. They did it as a form to keep men from having these large families with all these wives and legacies. And that's why they did it. They were cutting down on that type of behavior for men. And so in our culture, it's been ingrained that polygamy is something that's bad and nasty. Like, oh my gosh, there's more than one woman. He's having sex with more than one woman, or sleeping with more than one woman. Oh my gosh, that's so nasty. The women are going to get diseases, and how can they share a man? But that's how society is supposed to be. Men are wired, literally, mentally wired, to have more than one partner. That's why a man will be married for 30, 40 years. And if he sees a woman that he likes, he's still going to look at her. He's still going to flirt with her, because it's his nature to do that. Women have to realize that men, their innate nature is to be with more than one partner. And when you strap a man down to just you, you're pulling him out of his natural element. You're making him go against his nature. It's like taking a lion and making him behave as if he's like a deer or a lamb or something like that. You're taking him out of his natural element. That's why men cheat more often. That's why you have all of these men that have these so-called baby mamas, because they are mentally trying to, since they're not in a society that embraces who they naturally are as naturally polygamous, now their brain and their subconscious is trying to overcompensate for that by causing them to be unfaithful in mainly all of their relationships, or causes them to have all these women with these children that they have all these children with, like Nick Cannon, things like that. Everybody knows men who do that. It's their natural instinct still trying to come out and resurface in a society that's trying to dampen and hamper their natural instinct. So if you are a woman and you become married, you should not try to keep this man to yourself. If he's a good man and he provides and he is a leader, he deserves a legacy. And why not share this good man with other women? Why not build a legacy with him and then allow other women to build a legacy with him? Because he's a good man, so why not? It's in his nature to have multiple partners. Now, women, it's not. It's not in our nature to have more than one partner. The reason why you can see that is because a woman can technically only have one baby a year. You're pregnant for 9 months. A year is 12 months. You can only have one baby a year. Men can have as many babies as they want in a year. They can get 4 or 5 women pregnant at the beginning of the year and have multiple babies within a year, because they can spread seed faster and they can spread their seed to more partners. So they are seed spreaders. They're spreading a legacy. They are mentally and physically built to do this, to have more than one partner. We can only have one baby at a time because we're supposed to have one partner at a time. If you have more than one partner at a time, you run the risk of your pH balance messing up. You run the risk of getting all kinds of things going on with your body that's not supposed to be happening. You run the risk of having a child and you don't know who this father is because you've had multiple partners. There's so many risks involved when we have multiple partners, and it goes to show that we're not supposed to have multiple partners. When men have multiple partners, there's very little risk involved because they're built to have multiple partners, because they're supposed to be spreading their seed to as many people as possible at the same time to build a legacy. And men have been stripped of building their legacy. They have been stripped of building their tribes because the government that we live under in the United States don't want people to have tribes and legacies, because the larger the population, the harder it is to control the population. So any way they can to control the population, they're going to do it. And one of the ways they did it was by outlawing polygamy in the U.S., because at one point there were polygamous people in the U.S. Now, there still are polygamous people in the U.S., but the rule is you can only be legally married to one person at a time. So polygamous families in the U.S., the husband will legally marry the first wife, and then the rest of the wives will only marry those women in like a ceremonial thing. It won't be like paperwork or legal things behind it. They'll have the whole wedding, but it won't be anything behind the actual wedding. And they'll be married in like spirit. So that's how people practice polygamy now. That's how you have to do it. Because the United States makes it so hard for men to act within their nature. So when I become married, if it's not a polygamous type thing, if I can't be a sister wife, I'm not doing it, because it's no point. It makes no sense. Why make a man go against his nature? Like, why force him to just be with you for 30, 40, 50 years? That's hampering him. It's in his instinct to be with more than one woman. It's in his instinct to literally be shared. And I know that sounds crazy in our society, but go to Africa, certain parts of Africa, go to certain parts of Arab countries and Asian countries, and you'll see that that's how things are supposed to be. And as long as men are providing and protecting and taking care of their wives, they can have as many wives as they want. And it's not just within marriages. It's the same thing with like just regular boyfriend and girlfriend relationships. They should be able to have more than one girlfriend as well. It's because it's their nature to have more than one partner. So tying a man down to just you is extremely selfish. It's not fair, because it's in your nature to have one partner. That's fine. But to make a man go against his innate nature, that's not fair to them. And I feel like we are not looking out for men. We're not looking out for the greater good when it comes to men, because women are so caught up in feminism and their own needs. They're not realizing that men have needs that have been completely destroyed and overlooked and hampered for many, many years. But I'm just here to just touch on this polygamy topic. I have been thinking about it since my previous video where I touched on it. And there needs to be more people out here willing to try polygamy, not polyamory, which is different. Polyamory is like a 3-way relationship. Or where you have relationships with multiple people. That's polyamory. But polygamy, there's actually 2 types of polygamy. There's polygyny and polyandry. And there's polygyny is what I'm talking about, where there's more than one wife. Polyandry is when there's more than one husband. Women should have more than one husband, but men should have more than one wife. I mean, women can, but we're literally not wired for it. You can only get pregnant once a year. And then like if you are a woman and you have more than one husband, then you get pregnant by one husband, you have a baby. The next husband's going to want a baby too. So you're getting pregnant back to back, trying to have babies for these husbands, because we're not built for it. We don't spread seed. We have the seed. So the seed spreaders need to spread their seed in a garden of women. They need multiple women. So that's what I'm touching on today. That's what I came to talk about today. Just look at the ancient societies. Look at the kings and queens of like ancient civilizations, how they had concubines. There were always concubines. Even if they only had one queen, they had concubines because they recognized that men have a need for more than one partner. So they supplied that need. As a wife, as a partner, it's your duty to please your man. But if you are on your cycle or you're tired and you can't do it, if he has another partner, that makes things easier. He's not going to get frustrated with you. You're not going to get frustrated with him because there's someone else. So it's like everything lines up and it coincides, and it makes life more comfortable if men have access to more than one wife and more than one partner. And most men want more than one partner, more than one girlfriend or wife, but they're scared to bring the topic up because the women in this society have been so brainwashed by this society that they're scared if they bring it up to the partner that they're with, they're going to be shunned, cussed out, talked about, broken up with. It's going to cause a whole thing. They're going to be judged by family, judged by friends, and all of those things. And it's sad that they have to suppress themselves and their nature because of the society that we live in that is completely backwards. And one thing about women who are in polygamous marriages and polygamous relationships, they are not brainwashed. They are not clueless. They are not, these women that are abused and things like that. They are not children. Like people say, they marry children. No. Regular, normal polygamous relationships are with women, and these women are empowered. These women are sister wives. They form a sisterhood and a bond with one another because when you're both serving and married to and with the same man, you connect, you learn that man together, you become best friends with each other. And there are times when there's always going to be conflict here and there, but for the most part, these are sister wives. They work together. They come together. And if they have children, if sister wives have children, the children are raised by this interconnected web of mothers together. And it creates a very nurturing environment. Can you imagine a man with 4 or 5 stay-at-home wives and their children, and they're all honing in, homeschooling their children together as this sister wife motherly unit, and all the children are there. It's a beautiful thing. And he comes home to this in this beautiful environment. And these women are empowered and they love one another and they love each other's children. That's the side of polygamy that they try to hide. They try to make polygamy seem so ugly, but it's not ugly. It's actually a very beautiful thing that women need to get on board with. The men are already mentally on board with it. They're already mentally there. We just need to go back to how we were in ancient times and allow these men to be men. Allow these men to act within their nature. Like, let them be men. We have stripped them so much of everything down to how they want their relationships to go, to the point where most men are afraid to even bring this up because they know it's going to be a problem if they bring it up to their wife or their girlfriend, because we have been so brainwashed. So I just want people to take that in. I'm just touching on polygamy. It's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. Research these other cultures before you judge them. Research these African and Asian cultures. Really hone in and research their polygamy and how it's embraced in these countries and how they do it, and how the women are not miserable and unhappy like we think they are. They're actually sister wives and they work together. And if they don't get along, they start to work things out for the greater good. So just look this up and really hone in and research polygamy and the history of polygamy in the U.S. and the good things about it. Not like with the Colts and the Warren Jeffs and all those people over there. Not them. I'm talking about the good aspects, because there's bad and there's also good. So I'm an advocate for polygamy. If I ever become married, I am going to be in a polygamous marriage, a sister wife situation. Yeah, that's what I'm going to be in. because I cannot see myself not allowing this man to be a man. I can't see myself not allowing this man to act within his nature, and me sharing a great man with another woman and building a legacy together for the greater good. I can't see myself not doing that. So if I find a man and he doesn't want to be a polygamist, that's immediate. I cannot be monogamous. I'm not going to do that. So tell me what you think about polygamy. Like, comment, share, subscribe, just put your thoughts out there. But I want you guys to really think about polygamy, and men consider it, women consider it, have talks about it, because it's going on too long where men are living like they're living in the US and in the European countries as well, where it's outlawed. Get up and move to Asia or Africa so you can really do this how you want, and everybody can be legally married, because America is so backwards with this. But we should be advocating for polygamy and advocating for children to know about polygamy too, so they won't grow up judging it as well. But thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.